In this screencast, I'm going to walk you through the functionality of MyITLab and what it has to offer. Before we get started, I do want to let you know two things. First of all, we are viewing my instructor view, so there are a couple things you're going to see in the screencast that you won't see when you're logged in as a student. For instance, some of these tabs over here that have the screen with the slash through it, you're not going to see that on your screen. Secondly, this may be a little bit different based on whichever class you're on. So if you're in an online class or a face-to-face class, and depending on who your instructor is, it may be a little different from what we're seeing here on the screen today. Now before we get started, the first and very first thing you must do is go to this Setup MyITLab link. We'll open a new web page, and it's going to tell you all the settings and requirements that are needed in order to run the things inside of MyITLab. The system we have the most problems with is the skills-based training. It can be a little bit finicky and your settings have to be just right to make it run nicely. So you can read through all of this, but at the very bottom you want to run the browser tune-up for the PC or for the Mac. This will put an icon on your desktop and you want to go into MyITLab through that icon from here on out. That will save you a lot of errors and problems in the future. It solved about 80% of the issues we were having in the last year just by going through the browser tune-up. So make sure you do that. It's very vital to ease frustration. Okay, now as a student, what you care about where your assignments are, what you need to do for the week, and what are my grades when I'm done. So the first thing you want to look at pretty much every week is go to the assignment calendar. When you click on this link and let it load, it will bring up a calendar here. Now the green flag is showing when assignments are opening, and if I click here, it's going to show the assignments that are going to open on Saturday the 23rd. And that's also going to show you due dates. So here's the little clock showing that that's due. So most of these assignments are all due on that Sunday. So if we click there, we can see it's going to be basically the same thing, that those assignments are due on that date and so on. Now, you can click right here and open them from there and get into it. So that's one way to do it. I also want you to be aware that there's this button next to it. You can click on the Blackboard quiz as the mouse hovered over that. Also, once you complete it, you can also click on View Submissions. That's a really important tab, especially for the grader projects, which we'll get to later on. But please be aware that that arrow is there that gives you some options with that assignment. You can also go to the To-Do Completed page. This is a nice, easy view. So we can go to the To-Do page, and it will show you that they're due right here on August 31st, 2014. Please be aware that there is a Show More button down at the bottom. So sometimes there's more than 5 items. And actually, you can see that here's the next week's and the next week's and the next week's assignments, and we can keep going if we want. It's showing you whether or not you've started it over here. You can click right here to open the assignment, and once again you've got that drop down to open and view your submissions right there. Now a lot of our assignments have unlimited attempts, so if you get more than 70%, it's probably going to throw it over here to this completed section. So if you don't see the assignment here in the to-do list, it may be over here in the completed section. You can click on your grades here, but I'll show you a better place to look at your grades in full perspective. Now there is some content inside of MyITLab, and so if you click on Course Materials, and you can't see these other links, but Course Materials, once this loads, will show you the different folders that we have things in. So we have our unit in Word and Excel and Access and so on. So if we were to click on Word, there is an introduction video introducing you to Word and some of the basic things that Word does. There's also a student resources folder right here that you can click on that has a variety of videos and different things and PowerPoint presentations. So all of that is in here if you want to access that content, and that's there for all the different sections that we cover. Now what you really care about is how can I view my grades and see how I'm doing. So there's the nice grades button right here. And here's a snapshot of how we have things set up. So in my classes, my assignment section is worth 30% of your grade, so it's going to show that and show you the weight that's going on there. And then as well as the exams are worth 50% and projects are worth 20%, and then it will give you your total grade down here, so that will be your actual percentage in the class. This is always updated. Sometimes I have my own assignments I have to grade, but once all that's done, you will see your grade all the time. You will know exactly where you are at. Now you can also drill down, so we can click on Word over here and it will show you all of the assignments that are happening in Word, and it will show you your grade over here. Now you can also go to the custom view, which is the one that I actually prefer, and it will show you all of the assignments for the entire class in order, so you don't have to click through all those folders like you did a second ago. You can actually just see everything on one big page. So you can scroll through all of those right there. But if you do want to see the breakdown and your total grade, you do need to go to that grades section. And that's all I'm going to cover today. If you have questions, contact your instructor, or you can contact Pearson directly if you're having any technical issues. You can do that. All right.